Tell me please, what is the secret of productivity? And actually, what is productivity really? Books and bloggers give us the same basic advice. Write down your tasks, plan your day, wake up at 5 in the morning, work out in the morning, and blah blah blah. Those are basic things. Alright, you can close the video now, but wait a second. Sir Edmund Hillary once said, "It's not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves." And there is a real wisdom in those words. Because the topic of productivity is much deeper than we think. In fact, everything is way more interesting. And today I want to dive deeper into this with you and understand what actually makes us productive. Give me just 10 minutes and I will tell you what people study in universities, read in books and learn in professional trainings. I will save you time and show you how people saw time and productivity centuries ago in ancient Greece, in Rome, how it developed through the Middle Ages, and what has changed today. I analyzed dozens of respected articles and scientific papers to answer one big question: how do I become successful and truly productive? Here is what you learn. Why do nothing used to be considered a form of art? How work became our duty and got programmed deep inside us for generations? When exactly time became a currency? What triggered modern productivity? How our brain actually works and how to enjoy working? And finally, which techniques really make us productive? My name is Max Evans, I'm engineering manager. I lead large technical teams and have launched startups and full business verticals inside companies. I know a lot about productivity, not from the books, but from real experience. By the way, I'm doing a 1,000-day challenge. Every single day I post a video, and by the end of those 1,000 days, I must build my own global company and brand. Subscribe to this channel, it's for dreamers, founders, entrepreneurs, and for anyone who wants to start something of their own. So, let's begin. Here, this is your whole life, and that's in the best case scenario if you live 90 years. Each little circle, 1 month of your life. Have you ever thought about how many hours you actually have? In 80 years, it is about 700,000 hours. Sleep will take around 230,000. That's about 30% of your life. Work another 90,000 hours. Eating and daily routines around 70,000. So, what's left? About 180,000 hours of free time for your entire life. It's about 8 hours a day, but if you think about it realistically, it's twice less. Not that much, right? It's not a very inspiring statistic. But let's look back for a second. How did our ancestors see time and productivity? In ancient Greece and Rome, people didn't measure life in tasks and deadlines. Productivity didn't mean do more, it meant live right. Aristotle wrote the goal of a person is eudaimonia, inner flourishing, to think, to reflect, to learn, not just to earn. Romans went even further. They had the word otium, which meant noble leisure, not laziness but time for the mind. To write poetry, reflect, study the laws of the world. The ability to rest and think was considered a sign of wisdom and social status. So in a way, all of us are a little elite if we have time for ourselves. For them, productivity was not measured by how much you did, but how deeply you lived the day. Now let's jump forward. How did our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents live in the Middle Ages? With the rise of Christianity, everything changed. Life stopped being about pleasure. It became a path to salvation. Working hard meant serving God. Monks woke up before sunrise, prayed by schedule. That was basically the first version of time management. That's when the idea appeared that time is a moral category. Laziness became a sin. Productivity turned from a personal philosophy into an obligation. People didn't measure success, they measured virtue. The harder you worked, the closer you were to God. Notice how smoothly human minds were reprogrammed? And yet, even then, there was space for freedom. Guilds, crafts, art began to flourish in Europe. Artists, sculptors, architects built cathedrals that took decades to complete. For them, productivity wasn't about speed, it was about leaving a legacy. Today, everything flipped again. Productivity is no longer about truth or duty. It has become a new religion of efficiency. We live in an era of timers and KPIs, where every hour must bring a measurable result. People don't compete in wisdom, they compete in numbers of tasks, likes, and projects. Free time almost disappeared. Not because it doesn't exist, but because it's always filled with something. Even rest has become a task. Read a book, take a course, do your morning routine. We became slaves to our own schedules, even though we created all these tools to make life easier. Aristotle wouldn't be happy, but here is the paradox. His idea is coming back. True productivity is not about doing more, it's about living more consciously. Have you ever thought about why it's so easy for your brain to do some things, but so hard to make yourself to do others? How does it even work inside the brain? The thing is, our brain doesn't like work. Whoa, surprise! It always tries to stay in a balance, to avoid doing what it can skip. Our brain doesn't love to work itself, it loves the feeling of progress. Every time you move forward, check a box, close a small subtask, hit 25 minutes on a timer, your brain gives you a small shot of dopamine. It's not a pleasure hormone. It's a signal that says, hey, this thing is moving us forward. That's why checkboxes, progress bars, and streaks feel so addictive. They turn the abstract I need to work into something you can actually see and feel. Now you know why all to-do lists and planners are built this way. There is a balance between challenge and skill. If it's too easy, you get bored. If it's too hard, you get anxious. The best state in right in between, when it's hard enough but still doable. Like a level in a game that pushes you but can still be beaten. That's why I recommend breaking complex tasks into smaller, doable parts. It makes it easier for the brain to start. Another secret, low friction. Switching tasks costs your brain a lot. Every notification throws off track. That's why focus is so powerful and why books keep telling you to eliminate distractions. And finally, the reward has to be the road itself. If the only pleasure comes at the end of the project, your brain will keep delaying it. Feed your brain candies along the way. Short breaks after work sessions, a walk, a change to a lighter task after a hard one. Keep track of those tiny victories, it makes the journey easier. And finally, what should you actually do to become more productive? Create a dopamine loop of progress. Don't motivate yourself, I must finish. Motivate yourself, I just need to start. The brain releases dopamine when you move, not when you finish. Break down big tasks into micro actions and track every step. Even open the project or created a new file. That way you turn work into a chain of small wins, not a marathon of pain. Work in flow. Set difficulty just slightly above your comfort zone. Like a boss fight you can win. If it's too easy, add a challenge, a timer, a time limit. If it's too hard, simplify it, so your brain doesn't trigger anxiety. Make friction minimal. Your brain isn't lazy, it's economical. Remove resistance before you start. Your workspace should invite action. A clean desk, open project, everything ready. Create a start ritual, coffee, music, same time every day. Use the 1% per day rule. You don't need heroism. Grow by 1% every day and in a year you'll be 37 times more productive. Instead of trying to squeeze 10 hours from your day, ask what one thing today will make everything else easier. Take breaks consciously, not out of guilt. Neuroscience says after 50 to 90 minutes of focus, your brain needs to digest information. The best rest is change of context. Stand up, walk, stretch, stay away from screens for a bit. Build meaning, not schedules. Plan why, not just what. Your brain loves meaning. Instead of call the client right, make the product better so it's easier for them. Meaning makes work not exhausting, but fulfilling. And don't chase the perfect system, just start. One step, one focus, one day. My mission with this channel is to grow a generation of innovators, dreamers, people who want to build something of their own. See you in the next video. And don't worry, you've got this.